All right. Welcome back, everybody. Ready for another deep dive?
Always ready. What are we tackling today?
Today, we're going to explore a term that gets thrown around a lot, but, I'm not sure everyone fully gets it.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
The word is Allah, and we've got these excerpts just called paste to text, trying to clear up some misunderstandings about it.
Allah. Yeah, we hear that a lot, especially talking about Islam. But I bet there's more to it than meets the eye, right?
Exactly. I mean, we hear it in the news, we see it written, but do we really grasp what it means, on a deeper level?
Yeah, good point. So let's dive into this pasted text. What's it saying?
Well, right off the bat, it says a lot of people, non-Muslims, think that Muslims worship a different God, like a completely different one from Christians or Jews.
Interesting. Is that a common misconception?
I think so, right?
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty prevalent, unfortunately. But this text makes it crystal clear. Allah is just the Arabic word for God, period. The same God that Jews and Christians worship.
So why the confusion then?
I think it's mostly because folks aren't familiar with how languages connect, like Arabic, Hebrew, Aramaic, what Jesus spoke. Those are all Semitic languages. They share roots.
Huh, I didn't realize that connection.
Yeah. And the Aramaic El, it's closer to Allah in sound than our English God. But what's important here, what the text highlights, is the idea of one God.
Right, monotheism, one God.
Exactly. It's fundamental to Islam, belief in a single, all-powerful God.
Okay, that makes sense. So there's this part in the text comparing Allah to our English God, and it points out that Allah doesn't have a plural form. You can't say Allahs.
Right.
And it's not gendered either. No goddess situation.
I see where you're going with this. That's a really insightful point.
I mean, it makes you think, right?
Yeah.
How does that shape how Muslims view God?
Absolutely. Because you can't pluralize Allah, it reinforces this core Islamic belief. God is singular, absolute, totally unique, no gender, no splitting into multiples. God transcends all of that.
It's a powerful way of emphasizing God's oneness. And this actually ties into how the text contrasts Islamic monotheism with the Christian concept of the Trinity.
Yes. Muslims and Jews, too, they don't subscribe to the Trinity.
For folks who might not know, could you quickly explain what that is?
Sure thing. The Trinity is the idea that God exists as three distinct persons: the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. It's a core Christian doctrine.
And it's one of those fundamental differences, right? If you're trying to understand Islam, how they view God is absolutely key.
Exactly. It shapes everything else. Now, there was this other part that really struck me when I was reading through this.
Oh, yeah? What was it?
The text mentions the Arabic Bible, and guess what word they use for God? Allah.
Allah. It's the same word.
Now that's a bit of a mind blower, isn't it? Does everyone know that?
I don't think so. A lot of people are genuinely surprised when they hear that. But it's so important to know because it shows that Allah isn't some other God separate, only for Muslims.
Right. It's the same God being referred to. Exactly. Different faiths, even if their understanding of God differs, they're still talking about the same ultimate reality.
Okay, so now let's get a bit word nerdy.
All right, I love word nerdery.
So Allah,
Yeah.
it comes from the Arabic verb to be worshipped. So it kind of means the one who deserves all worship. Deep, right?
Super deep. And this etymology, the root of the word, it tells us something really central to Islam.
What's that?
It's about the absolute focus of worship. It's all directed to Allah exclusively. No other being, no concept, nothing else shares that position.
So all circles back to that core idea.
Yeah.
One God.
Exactly, like we were talking about before, rejecting the Trinity. It's all connected. Allah represents the totality of the divine. There's no room for anything else.
Wow. I mean, it's incredible how much depth there is in just one word.
Right.
You start to realize Allah isn't just a name, it's a whole statement of belief.
Absolutely. And it highlights how important it is to go beyond the surface, especially when we're talking about religion. Different words, different languages, they carry so much weight.
For sure. I mean, even just today, we learned that Allah is simply the Arabic word for God. But then we dug deeper, and we see how it reflects this profound commitment to God's oneness. No plurality, no partnership.
It really makes you think.
It does. And it makes you wonder, if Allah is just God in Arabic, what other assumptions are we making? Just based on words, on labels.
That's something worth pondering.
It really is. It's a reminder to be curious, to keep learning, to question our own preconceived notions. And on that note, I think it's time we wrap up this deep dive.
Another great one. Until next time.
See you all next time.